W's and L's, the weekly recap show. We give a dub to the things that we like and an L to the thing that we don't. I'll go first, I think. I guess that's how we ended up with this. My first dub is going to Tony Yayo. Name you haven't heard in a while, probably, I'm assuming. Instead of rapping, he's been doing he's reborn and rebranded himself as a person who gets interviewed. And he's like a Lil Boosie or
a title to you.
A Charleston White.
I've seen him, whatever that podcast in, that they do it in the middle of the barbershop, not the shop.
It's
an actual barbershop.
It's Matt Hoffa's, but it's my expert opinion.
Okay, sure.
I think, yeah.
I've heard him say some wild shit on there.
Yep, he said some wild shit on Vlad too.
Yep.
And now he did another interview where he did an amazing, magnificent impersonation. He literally wasn't going for that, but he was telling a story about going on tour with Nas. They're all from Queens, so it kind of makes sense. And apparently, Nas, during this tour, Tony Yayo thought, I'm about to be going on tour with Nas. This must have been early on in G Unit's rise. And so he's, excited. He's like, oh, we about to be, smoking weed on the bus and about to be a whole bunch of bitches and da-da-da-da. Nope. Nas is on the tour bus reading books and shit.
I thought it was going to be a lot of weed smoking, like bitches on the bus, but Nas was like, reading books and shit. So, I'm going up for Illmatic. I'm an addict for sneakers, 20s of Buddha, and bitches with beepers. So I thought, we was going to be smoking hella weed. Bitches going to be running through that shit. But he was kind of like a laid-back cat that was kind of like smart, reading books and shit. So I was just like, that was Nas. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker reading books and shit? Really wasn't smoking too much weed on the bus. Wasn't really, that was more jungle in them thing, But Nas is like one of them smart motherfuckers that I see how he come with the lines.
And literally throughout the interview, Tony Yayo keeps referring to it as reading books and shit.
This nigga reading books and shit. I'm trying to get high, he reading books and shit.
Your brother told us how you be all into reading and shit. Hey, that's some real good shit, my nigga, for real. Congratulations, nigga.
It's good shit, homie. Word, you know what I mean? That reading shit, you know what I mean? It's hard, son. Word, you know what I mean? Word, you know what I mean? Especially when them books be, you know what I mean? Real thick and heavy like, you know what I mean? Word, you know what I mean?
I trying to get on these women. He reading books and shit.
He also channeled his Uncle Jerome because he thought there was going to be bitches. And where's the titties? Where's the bitches? And no, Nas is on the bus reading books and shit. And I just thought that was absolutely hilarious.
We went to South Beach. I thought we was about to get active. He reading books and shit.
Literally, he said books 3 times. There was never a point where it wasn't accompanied by and shit.
Reading books and shit. It was kind of like smart reading books and shit. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker reading books and shit?
Books and shit is the whole word.
It's a whole statement. Books and shit.
I just want to congratulate you on reading them books and shit, you know what I mean? That's
3 syllables. Books and shit.
All right, my last dub goes to T.I.'s son. No, not the one that looks more like Tiny than T.I.
What song was he? And give a little bit, give a little bit of my love for you.
Ooh, yeah. I'll give a little bit of my love to you.
I wouldn't say he killed it, but he has a talent there that needs to be explored more so that he can develop a little bit more.
He gonna make folk music? Maybe playing the guitar is his talent. I don't think that genre necessarily fits him.
Why not?
But just
because his dad raps?
No, because folk music is just generally unseasoned.
No, but
it seems like it'd be a hard genre to break into. Country music is ours, but it also has enough soul for a soulful singer to get his shit off.
But I guess here's my thing is that his talent is the guitar playing.
Yeah,
and so maybe he can turn that into whatever genre essentially.
Well, absolutely. Oh, sure. Yeah,
you can even turn that into hip hop. You might need to auto-tune your voice.
Specifically, the lane he was in is what you were talking like. Oh, no. Folk music probably not his lane.
I think you're not going to make trap music, So
He about
but
to
you
make
might.
trap folk.
I mean,
Oh,
no. Well,
if Lil Nas X can make trap country,
I was gonna say
not
there's
trap country, but
you heard
country rap.
the guy who remade the Rascal Flatts song, RMR, the guy with the ski mask, and he did a whole country song, but he was talking about thug shit.
Sure.
You don't remember that?
Not really.
I'll show you afterwards. But yeah, I guess that wasn't really folk. It was country too. So
Yeah, no, folk, a lot of banjo. You know what I mean?
There's a lane there. Hip hop seems to be going into so many different lanes these days that it could work.
Hip hop, folk, Hulk. You call it Hulk.
Hulk is
Hulk
nuts.
music.
That's nuts. That sounds like crunk.
Wasn't he rapping at some point though?
His son?
Or maybe that wasn't the one that was rapping, was it?
No, it was the son that everybody calls ugly at every chance they get. Because he looks more like Tiny than T.I.
Major?
I don't know. Honestly, I can't keep up with them. I think there's three sons.
A lot of them.
Anyway, on to my L's. I know you probably have this as an L. This is the L that I think you probably have, or at least part of it. I'm giving 2 RIPs.
2 RIPs?
Mm-hmm. One to Bobby Caldwell.
Oh, RIP Bobby.
I know we already said it on the live stream, but
Guess you wonder where I've been.
Classic.
Distant love again. Boom, boom, I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Boom, boom, friends wonder what is wrong with me. 'Cause I'm in the days from your love, you see. I ain't know nothing about no Bobby. Yo got Jack Harlow.
Ew, gross.
I don't know nothing about no Bobby.
Woo. No, they got Justin
Jack
Timberlake.
Harlow wish.
They got Justin Timberlake.
Timberlake not around no more. We had Timberlake. Shit.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. I'll give you that then. Yeah,
They
got
have
Jack
Harlow.
They got Jack Harlow. Yikes. Also, RIP to Lance Reddick.
Yes, from The Wire.
Going to be in John Wick 4 too. He was in John Wick.
Right. You're right. Yeah, man. Damn. RIP.
Yeah.
RIP.
I've seen him in multiple things, but I never noticed that he had a funny side to him as well. Like I've seen clips of him being on Eric Andre, and he's in like fucking shackles, right, and like a slave outfit. Mm-hmm. But then he's got the LeVar Burton wears the
visor.
Yeah. And so he's in this get up, and he's like, I want to be LeVar Burton. He keeps going on this chant of being LeVar Burton.
Yeah. I wish I were LeVar Burton. I wish I were LeVar Burton. Where's my iconic slave role? Hey, motherfucker. I wish I were LeVar Burton. F*** all y'all. F*** all y'all. Warp speed, don't rainbow read me, nigga. Ah!
And then eventually they had LeVar Burton come on in his cop outfit, and he's like, I want to be Lance Reddick. I want to be Lance Reddick.
I wish I was Lance Reddick. I wish I was Lance Reddick. I wish I was Lance motherfucking Reddick.
Thanks, LeVar. That's LeVar Burton.
For real.
That's him, baby.
And that completes the lead.
Oh, hey. That's A$AP Ferg.
I was like, damn, that's hilarious.
R.I.P. to Lance.
He was also on Rick and Morty too, I think.
What'd he do?
He was on Rick and Morty as the guy. Remember the Avengers episode they had?
Roughly. He wasn't the president, was he?
No, he was the train guy.
Oh,
Ghost train guy.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. So he had a funny side as well, which was dope. And he did a lot of voice roles for animated superhero comics. So shout out to the guy, man. R.I.P. Second L is going to both of them. Scottie and Larsa Pippen. Larsa went on some talk show and admitted that apparently her and Scottie were having sex 4 times a day for 25 years, or 23 years. The 23 years that they were married.
I'm sorry, what? 4 times a day?
Yeah, and apparently somebody also said that
she out here smacking 20-year-olds. She needs stamina. Can't do that. I am retired from the
23
NBA.
years that they were married. So now they're not.
I assume a lot of that is part of his NBA career. Yeah. When else would you have stamina to do that? I just turned 30. I don't want to have 4 times a day. I don't want that.
No.
Like, what am I going to do for the rest of the time?
Sleep for 23 years.
4 times?
And apparently that wasn't even all the times that have actually been accounted for.
So he wasn't able to provide that anymore, and it was time to go fuck Future? Is that where that went?
Who would want that afterwards?
Well, no, I mean, that's her husband. That's something different than just being ran through.
No, but sure, but like, that's a lot to handle.
That's why she got these young boys. She need the young, energetic, the rabbit punchers.
I feel like it's not the same.
You know what I'm saying?
I know the muscle is supposed to, it's a muscle, so it works itself out, but that is a lot. That's a lot, man. I
wonder if she ever talked to somebody to see maybe if she's the problem. Maybe she has an issue.
Yeah. All right, my last L is going to a person that we talked about in one of our Horny Police segments that we haven't done in a while.
Apparently, it should have been Larsa Pippen.
Oh, yeah, no facts. Atriot, the streamer who went and was looking at
his
friends'
deepfakes.
Yes.
His friend's wife's deepfakes.
Yes. He recently did a stream, which, because I told you I was following him, I was aware of. I went on to it, and he immediately is talking about all the great stuff that he's doing now because of the situation that happened, including paying for some of those girls to pay for lawyers so that they can get all that shit taken off.
That's not your response.
And he's working with, I guess, some girl who's like working towards advocacy against that. She reached out to him, and so they're working on this whole thing, and they're really working towards making a strong effort towards making sure that this never happens again.
Fam.
Yeah.
Own your mistake and move on.
It just seemed like you're doing this to seem like the good guy again.
Well, it's not even just that, because you can do that by doing what I just told you to. Own your mistake and move on. It's more than that.
You're overplaying.
This has a lot of attention around it. Let me turn a bad situation into a money-grabbing opportunity.
Yeah, you're overcorrecting in public.
Into a way of growing instead of shrinking. Into a way of earning revenue instead of losing it. And so now I would just become the poster boy for anti-deepfake pornography.
And I can have my job back.
Monetize it. Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
It just seemed like an overcorrection.
At what point is it your responsibility to pay for their lawyers because you looked at the pictures? That's deranged. That is absolutely deranged. You could not have a financial advisor. You can't. There's no way. Who would advise you to do something like that? Well, I looked at their deepfake picture, so I feel responsible. I should pay for their lawyers.
He also has people that he employed that he is also currently trying to find other work for them. People who edit his videos. People who edits his videos and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, he had a large following, to be fair, but
enough to pay for everybody's legal expenses for an indeterminate amount of time?
That I chalk up to him being white, and at some point probably coming from... Oh, you know what? No.
How rich can you be as a YouTuber?
He had a company with one of the largest streamers on Twitch. Or he was on Twitch, now he went back to YouTube. But so at some level, he's probably getting money from that too. So
damn. Okay, so let's say he's got the funds. Is it advisable by anyone for you to assume responsibility for their legal services?
Nah, it's just an overcorrection. He wants to be seen as the good guy in public, so he can have his job back.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think he thinks the outcome and the increase of revenue and following that he will receive from becoming this champion for the cause is more valuable to him than the temporary lull he will go through if he just ignores it.
Sure.
So it's more beneficial for him financially.
He wants to be the good guy so he can have his job back again and then some.
Sure, I guess. I don't think he actually wants to gain any virtue from this. I don't think he's actually trying to convince
I think we're saying
people.
the same thing.
Well, but No, but see, he wants to be the good guy implies that he has some moral value.
No. He wants to be the good guy so he can start gaining revenue again. He wants to be seen as the good guy so he
wants
can
the perception of being a good guy. Okay.
Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. First dub I got here is actually going out to. It's a little bit of a delay because I should have said it last week. But shout out to Jon Jones for winning his first fight back versus what was it, Serial Ghani? Is that how you say his name?
You know, I don't pay attention as much to the UFC as I should, or mixed martial arts, or
whoever it was. He made bro tap in the first round.
Damn.
Yeah, it was quick.
I know Usman just fought.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Again? Didn't he just lose a fight not too long ago? They fight.
I
See,
think
UFC fighters fight quicker.
I think he just lost this one.
Did he?
I think he lost to Leon Edwards.
Damn, Usman. Thought you was one of the greats. But yeah, no, shout out to Jon Jones on his return. Yeah, first fight back since his suspension. He looks a little heavy. Didn't look like he was in the best shape, but he is 35 years old, so
yeah,
I'll cut him a slack, especially since he won by submission in the first round.
And he's got a lot of coke in his system.
No, he doesn't.
There's a lot of coke in his system. Coke and alcohol.
Next.
Well, alcohol leaves your system pretty quickly.
That's a whole bunch of speculation. What are you supposed to say?
Accusations. These are not accusations. This is false accusations. And
all right, my next dub is going out to the reports that Michael B. Jordan and Reggie Hudlin are spearheading a all milestone DC universe. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I don't know.
Completely separate of the DCU.
Why not?
Which they can do.
Why
It's
not?
Otherworld.
Yeah, why not?
No,
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna have DC Otherworld, then I mean maybe that ends up becoming the milestone universe.
Yeah, do it. I'm here for it.
I wonder if Michael B's that Val Zod movie that they were talking about is now
done for. Or maybe being reconstructed.
Or maybe it's going to be part of that Otherworld milestone universe. I wonder.
That'll be
because I haven't heard anything about it being axed.
No,
right?
Yeah, no.
I've only ever heard stuff about it being developed.
Mm-hmm. And then developed. And then developed.
And then there hasn't been anything like, oh, no, they've done away with it. So, I mean, maybe.
Could be.
Maybe.
All right. Though.
On to the L's. First one I got is going out to the American Airlines passenger who was so sure that they were more popular than Desmond Howard that not only did they ask a flight attendant, but they had the flight attendant go and get their supervisor to check their respective membership status to verify that he was of a higher classification than former Heisman Trophy winner, Super Bowl MVP, and current ESPN analyst Desmond Howard.
And before we took off, the supervisor comes up and she speaks to the guy sitting next to me. She said, "You want to talk to me?" He said, "Yeah, I think you should remove this gentleman from the plane because he's sick." Talking about me. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, are you a doctor?" He says, "Well, you've been coughing all over the place." This is before we even took off, right? I said, "Well, you can leave the plane, take another flight, because I'm not leaving." All I was doing was clearing my throat. So Carol, the supervisor, she's looking, and guess what card he tried to play? He said, "I'm sure if you check our status, my status is higher than his." So I said, "Carol, yeah, check our seats and let me know whose status is the highest." And as you see, I'm still sitting on this plane. As a matter of fact, we're in the air right now. The caucasity of him, unbelievable. All right, everybody, you guys have a happy Sunday.
I know how you feel about Desmond Howard.
Just tell me this.
But what level of deranged do you have to be?
Was the guy white?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yes.
I got to be on Desmond Howard's side.
Did that sound like a black setup?
No, it didn't. But I expected
you could have ignored everything else I said and then gotten to the point where I was like, check our membership status. You'll see that I am a higher member.
I was in denial because I didn't want to be on Desmond Howard's side.
Well, you have to be, because the caucasity of this is at an all-time high.
This is a fact.
Oh, check my membership. I'm sure I'm a...
It's
Fam,
bullshit, sir.
you are an A+ class on American Airlines. You act like you sitting in first class on Spirit. Why don't you watch who you just throwing your weight around before you end up talking shit to a senator or something next time? The hell is wrong with people?
You know, fuck that guy, but fuck Desmond Howard too.
Hey man, don't hate on Desmond Howard. That's crazy. I wrote American Airlines passenger and Desmond Howard on here on separate lines for else.
And I was concerned because I fly a lot with American. I flew with them on Cancun, and now I'm about to fly with them to New York. So I'm like, oh, I hope they didn't do some fucked up shit.
All right. This one's probably going to take us through the end of the episode. We're going to talk about this for a little bit. Now, Josh is telling me that we actually talked about this on the pod before, and I don't recall.
Again, we didn't like discuss it in length. It wasn't. It was definitely an afterthought for what it's worth.
But off the heels of some controversy that your boy Sneako, recently, or relatively recently, deplatformed from most places that matter, but he's still on Rumble.
Yeah, and he still visits Fresh and Fit quite a bit.
Yeah, that's crazy. How can you be platformed and show up on other people's channel? Anyways.
Well, I guess technically he's not getting paid, so.
But how can they have a deplatformed person on?
You're still allowing that person to have a platform by proxy.
Hey, that's YouTube's problem.
Yeah.
Either way,
they're not going to do anything about it because they're YouTube.
Sneako's deplatformed. A lot of people have opinions on that. One being,
Charlie / Penguins / there's another name he goes by. I can't remember. I don't watch him
well-known streamer, right? Obvious adversary of Mr. Sneako, because they've been doing this back and forth thing where they're addressing each other in each other's videos.
Quite the minimalist YouTuber, but
yeah.
He literally sits there and reviews things with AirPods, the headphones. Yeah. And I'm like, he just talks about whatever. But anyway.
So Sneako rose to the point of mentioning this guy's girlfriend or wife? Girlfriend. Right? Rose up a picture of her making some sly jokes about her being unattractive or what have you. Makes its way back to Homeboy. Right? Homeboy then proceeds to talk about the cuckery that is Sneako's dating life, where we revisit an old interview with the members of Playback discussing his one of his first group sex escapades with his now girlfriend. Right? And the description of this story,
I don't know if they're still together. Don't quote me on that. I just don't know.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
That's
not consequential at all. I don't give a damn.
Doesn't matter. The cookery still happened while they were together.
It's likely that they're no longer together. So that doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
Yeah.
But the description of this story, I'm having trouble even wrapping my head around it. Okay, so we went to this sex party. Why? I don't know, because that's what we do. Like, I remember thinking distinctly when he started telling me the story, is like, this is a lie. Before you even tell me, it's a lie. Because why would you give this intimate of information up, right? And then as it continued to go on, I got more details. I continued to say, oh, this is definitely a lie. But then he was so serious about it, and every time he talked, it got worse. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yo, maybe he really believes that like what he was doing is like some freak shit and not some cuck shit. So let me tell you the story so we can all decide together. Sneako goes to a sex party with his wife.
Girlfriend,
with his girlfriend. They then meet another couple that they would like to swing with. Right? Oh, sounds normal. He gets some, they get some, we all get some, right? Except for some reason or another, he's not attracted to the man's wife. Does that stop the situation? No. Sneako lays in bed and watches as his wife has her ankles above her head, getting pile drived by the woman who he didn't want to have sex with's husband. Then at some point, the position changes Sneako is now taking his girlfriend from behind, and the dude is underneath them both, licking his girlfriend. He even goes as to tell so much detail that he describes his own scrotum sliding across the guy's forehead. Now we've moved out of cuckery onto full-on homosexuality, I feel like. At least bisexuality. Because what are we even talking about? The man was tickling your taint while you were giving your girlfriend back shots? What kind of weirdo sex project is this?
Well, that's what he's into. I'm not going to shame him.
It's weird to me. No, that's weird. It's weird to me.
Well, I mean, if he's bisexual,
hey, look,
if he's bisexual, he's bisexual.
They color me judgmental. Because every part of this situation sounds like trash.
I would want no parts of that shit. But if that's what he's into, that's what he's into.
Talking about how he was made uncomfortable by the girlfriend moaning. No shit. Because your girlfriend's getting dicked down with you in the room.
Yep. And some people are into that. If that's what he's into, that's what he's into. But then for him to do a complete 180 and try to be a manosphere guy is fucking bullshit.
Right. So it's like to tell other people not to simp on women and you know, obviously not acquiesce to their needs or what have you, and to be an alpha, but then to drag your taint over a man's face while you're having sex with your wife after he just dug her out in front of you doesn't sound very alpha male-ish to me.
No, not at all.
Nothing about it. Swinging is one thing. You know, you give his wife a good talking to, he might end up feeling the same way you feel after he gave your wife a talking to. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, swinging is a thing when you're into it and you want it to happen. When you don't, that's
yeah. He talked about how much he didn't enjoy it and how inadequate he felt in the moment. How he got up and left and walked out of the room and all this other stuff. It's like
cook shit.
Yo, it sounded like you absolutely hated it and loved it at the same time because you didn't leave and you laid in the bed with him while the deed was done. You might as well have been in the corner jacking off, man.
Sounds like you loved her so much that you were willing to do what she wanted to do, which is
simp. Simply put, simp. But that's his language. That's his language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't sound like alpha behavior
at all.
But then, okay, so that happens, right? And then he goes on this weird ass tangent with him holding his guns, and he's talking about
they did it back and forth on Twitter, which is what you were referring to, and then Sneako had a live stream. Charlie had mentioned that Sneako was afraid of fighting Brandon Buckingham, which is a guy who is on multiple cases called Sneako out to fight, and has even mentioned having sex with said girlfriend in a song.
Yeah, but fam, look at him. Look at Sneako.
Yeah,
like look at him. Boy is 150 pounds soaking wet. Without them tattoos, he's the weirdest cookie in the bunch.
And that's part of the reason why Sneako is literally very close to stature to the Brandon Buckingham guy.
He's a caricature.
There is a huge difference between him and Charlie.
I'm not even talking about just stature. I am talking about who this person was before he got this platform. What type of person he was, what kind of life he lived, what type of individual he was before he started all this shit. I guarantee you this was nor the most popular nor the most athletic person at his high school.
Sure.
That's not how you end up running internet platforms, is being vastly popular and spending all your times going out and interacting with people.
But
so the facade, and I'm gonna let you go. The facade of all of this was once it was, sexual conquest. Then it turned into threats of violence with the clips thing, right?
Well, okay.
It's all a facade. That's not who he is. And it keeps showing up in these instances where he's trying to prove to us his sexual prowess, when he's trying to prove to us that he has a violent nature, right? When you stress to become something or try to become something that you truly are not, the fissures where you're inconsistent become very clear to those people who are. Right? So when you sit up here and tell me, I get all these women, do this, do that. I don't have to listen to them. I can do what I want. I can cheat when I want to. They give me money, blah, blah, blah. Right? That's the whole, I'm sure I didn't do a great job of explaining it, but that's the whole alpha male facade, right? That's what it is. But then when you have him describe one of those particular instances where, my woman will always come back to me because I have control over type of things, he goes immediately to a situation that paints him as the ultimate cuck, unwittingly. You know why? Because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because he's playing a character. And the one thing that a character does not have that a real life person with experience does is just that, experience. Lived experience to draw from. Not some amalgamation of what I think masculinity is or what I think, violence is. Same thing with the guns, right? These are the only clips I play with. This is literally, you doing this is the only time you've ever played with anything resembling a gun because you don't know what those are called. You don't know what you have in your hand. You know what it is? Oh, I hear rappers talking about 30-round clips all the time in their songs. So it must be this, right? This
magazine.
Every time you try to play this character, eventually the real will come out. Mm-hmm. It'll come out. You pretending to be something that you're not.
Yeah.
And you're going to slip up and you're going to show to somebody who knows what to look for that you're a fraud.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Brandon Buckingham thing, it kind of sets up a little bit more context in the situation. A little bit, nothing crazy. But okay, so Brandon Buckingham just knocked some guy out on YouTube boxing, and then he called out Sneako. Sneako said he didn't want no parts. He'd rather be at home making jokes on the internet instead of fighting Brandon Buckingham. He said that verbatim.
Oh.
Charlie then goes, "You won't even fight Brandon Buckingham," and again,
but you'll shoot him.
Similar stature between the two. Sneako actually has more experience in like boxing and fighting, and he still won't fight, bro.
Now let's do a size comparison. I'm 6'3", 175 pounds, and have trained boxing for about 4 months. Sneako is 6'2", 170 pounds, and has been posting clips of him training boxing since 2018. Our new challenger is Charlie. He's 5'6", 155 pounds, has zero fighting experience, and zero desire to get into the ring with anyone.
I don't think that matters. If he doesn't want to fight you, that's what matters. Like
right,
the fact that he may be the more adept fighter is not really provable. That might just be more the facade that he's putting out. We would have thought that he's more of an alpha figure when it comes to women than what he actually gives off. It could all be what is verified. Did that man have any fights?
You're focused on the wrong thing.
Was he ever signed anywhere?
Focus on the fact that this guy is actually challenging him to a fight,
and you're the one who's worked out more. I mean,
no. He won't fight that guy, but he will try to fight and threaten this other guy.
That's what I said at the beginning. You won't fight homeboy. You won't fight the YouTuber who wants to fight you, but you will try to shoot the other one who's just talking shit about you.
Yeah,
okay,
and threaten him to fight him, and tell people where he's from. You in Tampa? I'm gonna show up in Tampa.
That was easy enough to decipher from what we were looking at between you rather being at home telling jokes online to fight somebody, but then when it's about him, you're clicking your magazines together like you about to come shoot him. So
like he's the only one with guns.
Yeah, I didn't need to know anything about either one of their relative boxing expertise to tell that one of those men is a pussy.
Oh, I mean, I'm just setting up context here to where if that's the case, which, like I said, Brandon said that was the case, he still won't even fight bro, but he's sending shots to a guy who is considerably smaller than him. Pussy shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really take too much stock into his size even. I mean, he's a pretty small individual. I think he's tall, but he's not heavy.
No, he's 5 something.
Who's Sneako?
Oh, no. He's 6'1".
Yeah, he's like that. 6 foot. Whoa. What is he?
He's 6'1".
Oh, he's 5'9". He's 5'9 and a half. He's 5'9 and 3/4,
well,
folks.
And so is Brandon Buckingham.
We already know how they like to embellish.
Sure. No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? We went from alpha male to cuck.
Yeah.
We went from clips to magazines. 6'1 to 5'9. It only makes sense.
But yeah, no, he's a pussy.
Absolutely.
That's all my point. That was the whole point of that.
What do you think Sneako is? What did you think about our dubs and nails? Put it in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back next Wednesday, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. for another Dubs and Nails segment.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, make sure you subscribe so that you're up to date with everything. Our last W's and L's, we discussed Jonathan Majors possibly playing Dennis Rodman in the 48 hours in Vegas. Yeah. So go ahead and check that out.
I'm still up. Last week. I could play Horace Grant. I could play I can't play Luke Longley.
No, you can't.
whatever tall basketball players, I can do it. If Jonathan Majors is playing Dennis Rodman, I can definitely play one of the basketball players. So I'm available. Just let me know.
Make sure you subscribe and check us out every Wednesday at 10 o'clock when we do our weekly recaps.